So, an AI gives you an answer. How do you actually know it's true? And what if I told you that truth itself is becoming a tradable commodity? Today, we're diving deep into this new frontier of AI markets, where the value of intelligence is, and I mean this literally, being priced on the blockchain.
This quote right here, it just nails the problem. Generative AI has kicked off what's called an epistemological crisis. It's really just a fancy way of saying we don't even know how to know what's true anymore. We've gone from simple, clean data to this incredibly complex, generated intelligence. The whole idea of a single black and white correct answer, it's starting to get really, really blurry.
So that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? If truth is now more of a spectrum, a shade of gray instead of just a simple yes or no, how on earth do we build systems that can reliably put a price on it and prove the value of the intelligence that these AIs are creating?
To really get why this is so tricky, just think about the difference between a simple calculator and an AI. A calculator, that's what we call deterministic code. 2 plus 2 is always going to equal 4, every single time. But a large language model, that's probabilistic. When you ask it something, it isn't just pulling a fact off a shelf. Nope, it's generating what it thinks is the most statistically likely answer based on all the data it was trained on. This is the famous black box problem. We can't just pop the hood and see exactly how it got to its conclusion.
So, what's the solution? Well, it's this pretty wild new idea called inference markets. You can think of them as these decentralized networks that are being built specifically to solve this AI truth problem. The core idea is to completely transform truth from something you just have to blindly trust into an actual asset, something you can trade and verify.
Okay, so how do they actually work? Well, they take the traditional AI stack, which is usually this all-in-one package, and they unbundle it into separate checkable layers. Right at the bottom, you've got the physical hardware. On top of that, the AI models themselves. Then, a super important verification layer that kind of acts like the system's judge and jury. And finally, you have the apps that actually use all this intelligence. The beautiful part is that every single step can be checked and balanced.
All right, so if we're going to create a market for truth, how in the world do we agree on a price? Turns out there are basically 3 competing philosophies for how to do this. Let's break them down.
First up, we've got the wisdom of the crowd approach. You can think of it like a massive, automated peer review system, but one where everyone is getting paid for their opinion. It's not really looking for one single, perfect, objective answer. Instead, it's all about reaching a consensus on what a good answer looks like.
BitTensor is a perfect example of this in action. In their system, you have miners, which are basically AI models producing answers. And then you have validators, who are like the judges. They're constantly asking the miners questions and grading their responses. The whole system then pulls all those scores together, and the consensus, what most validators agree on, determines what counts as valuable intelligence. The majority literally gets to decide what's true.
Now, the second philosophy, it takes a totally different tack. Instead of judging the answer after the fact, it tries to judge the model itself. This system creates this kind of meta layer where different AIs are constantly predicting how well other AIs are going to perform. The goal is to figure out which model is the best tool for a specific job before it even gets started.
A great example here is the Allura network. You've got workers that provide answers, but, and this is the crucial part, you also have other workers whose only job is to forecast the error rate of those answers. Then, reputers come in and check the results after it's all done. Over time, the system gets incredibly smart and context-aware. It learns, hey, this is a finance question. I should send it to the specialized finance model, not the one that writes poetry, because it can predict who will get it right.
And then we have our third philosophy. This one, honestly, couldn't care less about consensus or forecasting. It only cares about one thing: pure, cold, hard math. The goal here is to get an unbreakable cryptographic receipt that proves a specific calculation was done exactly the way it was claimed. No opinions, no votes, just proof.
This mathematical approach really comes in 2 main flavors. First, there's optimistic machine learning. The best way to think about this is innocent until proven guilty. A model submits its work and puts up a financial stake, like a deposit. Then there's a challenge period where anyone can jump in and try to prove it cheated. The other flavor is zero-knowledge machine learning, or ZK-ML. This gives you a perfect, unbreakable mathematical proof right from the get-go. So what's the catch? Well, ZK-ML is incredibly secure, but it's also way more expensive and slower to compute. It's a classic trade-off.
So, you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble to build these incredibly complex systems?
Well, the motivation is actually super simple and powerful. It all comes down to money. There's a huge economic opportunity just sitting there.
And here's that economic incentive in a nutshell. Those big centralized AI companies, it's estimated they're running on gross margins somewhere between 80 and 95%. Think about that. They're not charging you for the cost of the computer power, they're charging you for the value of the answer. And that, right there, opens up this massive arbitrage opportunity for decentralized networks to come in and just completely blow them away on price.
And we're not talking about small savings here. We are talking upwards of 70% cheaper. I mean, how is that even possible? It's because they're creating a global marketplace for idle computing power. These networks can tap into all the underutilized GPUs from gaming rigs, independent data centers, even crypto miners, and offer up that power for way, way less than the big cloud providers.
But wait, how can they afford to be so cheap? The secret weapon here is something called the token subsidy. The network actually pays its contributors, all those miners and validators, in its own native cryptocurrency. This lets them sell their AI services to you, the end user, at or sometimes even below their actual electricity cost. They're basically making a bet that the future value of the network's token will more than make up for that initial loss. Of course, proving that truth isn't free. Each of these methods comes with what you could call a verification tax. It's the extra cost you have to pay to be sure the answer is correct. That mathematically proven ZKML, it's got a very, very high tax. But those trust-based optimistic methods have a much lower one. The whole game is about finding the right balance of cost and security for whatever job you're trying to do. Okay, so we've got the philosophies, we've got the economics, but where is all this heading? What's the end game here? This is where we get into the really futuristic vision, the agent economy.
Get this. The ultimate consumers of these inference markets, they probably won't be people like you and me. They'll be autonomous AI agents. What we're building here is the financial plumbing, the rails for an entire economy of AIs that can buy and sell verified intelligence from each other, completely on demand to get complex jobs done without any human ever stepping in.
And this leaves us with the great trilemma of decentralized AI. The entire space is really a massive competition to see which philosophy, which economic model can best solve this puzzle. How to perfectly balance the competing demands of cost, speed, and security. The project that finally cracks this code won't just be successful, it's probably going to define the future of intelligence itself.